relationship riches, discover, develop, and deploy wealth through relationships. I mean, just let that marinate for a minute. What is a relationship anyway? Before I get into that, understand that if you are in the presence of your children and you'd rather be looking at your phone because it's not asking anything of you, you are fumbling on the 1 yard line. You're in the presence of your spouse and you're scrolling Facebook, doom scrolling Instagram, watching YouTube videos. Instead of making real connections with real people, you're sacrificing your long-term fulfillment on the altar of instant gratification. It's not worth it. If you are at work or you are in a meeting with a client and you can't stop looking at your phone, it's already costing you a fortune. So interesting that all of these are very poor substitutes for real connection. Real connection that we build with real people. When we interact with other people, we actually have to have different opinions and have different habits and different ways of being than they do. And so now it requires energy. Because if I'm talking to somebody and they're different than me, then I've got to bite my tongue and open my ears long enough to at least attempt to comprehend their perspective before I start rambling off with all the stuff I know. I was interviewed one time on a podcast. It was the most painful interview of my life. It was painful. It was exhausting to me. Because the person who was interviewing me, they would ask me a question, I'd begin to answer, they'd interrupt me. And they'd ask me another question, I'd begin to answer, they'd interrupt me, they'd ask me another. I'm like, so you want to use what I'm saying to prove your point? Why are we having this conversation? Then I had an interview with one of the biggest personal development brand podcasts out there, Lewis House, and on School of Greatness. It was just, and I thought it was going to go one way, and it went a totally different way, but it was not a manufactured conversation. It was just a conversation that turned into one of the most real and enjoyable and mind-blowing conversations I've ever had, because he was genuinely interested in getting to know me, and I was genuinely interested in getting to know him. It was just an amazing conversation. And so, like, anybody here married? Anybody here married? Okay. That takes W-O-R-K. Can I get a witness? Huh? Because here's one thing your spouse might live in the same house, but it's true that they ain't you. Can I get a witness? They don't think like you. It's so fascinating how opposites attract, right? One of you is an early bird, one of you likes to go to bed late, right? One of you is not careful or even maybe thoughtful at all about how you spend money. The other one wants to make sure they know where every penny's going. Right? It's like one of you loves to talk and the other one's like, a conversation? What? Right? But it's those differences and then working through them together that makes the relationship valuable. I'm going to make an assertion. I have noticed that in my own life, every life upgrade that I've ever had, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, financially, or in any other way, health-wise, has always been the direct result of a relationship. Which makes me so thankful for one of my original relationships, which was the relationship that I had with my parents, who taught my brothers and I the value of being able to get along with people who are different than you. Starting with my brothers. Right? And it was interesting. We didn't have to necessarily like each other all the time, but we weren't allowed to fight each other. You can fight out there, but you can't come in here and fight. My dad would say, you can pass the first lick, but I'm going to pass the last lick. You did not want my dad passing the last lick. His hands were harder than this table. Okay? And so all of us, I am telling you right now, I know this for a fact. The wealth that has been avoiding and evading you is on the other side of relationships that you've been unwilling to develop. The breakthrough that you've been looking for, praying for, working towards in your business has been resisting you because of the relationships and the relationship skills you've been resisting developing. See, something that's so weird about human beings. Not just me, don't look at me like that. All of us. Here's what we ideally like to have. I want everything to get better as long as it can stay the same. Or better stated, I want everything to get better as long as I can stay the same. But the reality is, if you don't get better, neither will things. In order for things to get better, you've got to get better. And so the question then becomes, what do I have to get better at? That is a really great question. Like, in order for me, it's so interesting. People think that business is hard. Business feels so easy to me. And I don't think business feels easy to me because I'm smart. I am smart. I'm not going to say I'm not smart. If I did, that wouldn't be very smart. Okay. But business doesn't feel easy to me because I'm smart. Business feels easy to me because I love people and they can tell. I want you to just let that marinate. Do you think of people as essential to your business, but if you didn't have to deal with them, you'd rather not? Guess what? They can do it. You ever meet somebody like, I just don't like their vibe? What does that even mean? What it means, something about their energy, which includes their intention and what they're thinking and what they're feeling and what their objectives are, it's not just in their head, it emotes out of every cell of their body. And I really believe that business is easy for me. And I know this sounds so sappy and soupy, sloppy. But I really have, I don't want to sound like I'm patting myself on the back, because I'm not. It's by the grace of God. I really have your best interest in mind. And I look at people who have a hard time assigning good motives to other people. It's really easy for them to assign bad motives. Like, they did that because blah, blah, blah. Right? But I think the reason that God blessed me with this perspective that I love people is because for the first part of my life, for most of my life, I was an outcast. And so it was easy for me to feel the feelings of an outcast. I had polio as an infant, I walked with a limp, I walked with a brace on my leg, and it's really fascinating. Like for people in wheelchairs, or people who have some kind of physical challenge, if you ever just had a conversation with one of those people, like, or some of those people, what you would discover, if you ask them, do people see them? And people will really look away to keep from staring. There's another way to keep from staring. Engage in a conversation. You can see somebody without staring at them. And so, like, I'm so cool with the fact that I walk with a limp. I don't mean I'm cool, like I got swag, but that too. But I'm so cool that I don't afford it. Because I realize that there's no such thing as just something bad. If it's bad, it has to be equally as good. Even if it doesn't feel good. There's something about it that I can think about that can make me feel good, even if the thing's painful. So I remember what it was like to get picked last on the playground because I couldn't run. Nobody wants to be picked last. I could do more pull-ups than anybody, I could do more push-ups than anybody, but I couldn't run, so I got picked last. I knew what that felt like. I knew what it felt like to have other kids call you names and make fun of you just because you were different. And I know what it's like to hate being different because it ostracized you. And because of all of that stuff, and I'm not saying this so you can feel sorry for me, please don't feel sorry for me. I wouldn't trade my life for anybody's I've ever met or haven't. Hashtag just saying. Okay. But the reason I'm telling you that is because I don't ever want to make anybody feel that way. Like sometimes to my own detriment. I have, like when I go to conferences, I have to have security. Not because my life is endangered necessarily. I mean, anybody's life can be endangered at any moment, as crazy as the world is today. That's not why. The main reason is because I don't have it in me to tell somebody I don't have time to take a picture. I don't have it in me, but I know I can't do it. Like, because if I do it, if I go to a conference with 4,000 people and I stop to take pictures, it's a, hey, you might have a second to take a picture. It's a second for you. It's 4 hours for me. I'm not exaggerating. Right? And I've got stuff I've got to do in places I've got to be. And so, like, so I have to have people around who can say no and it don't bother them like it bothers me. Right? And so, I don't ever want to make anybody feel, I was with one of my employees once and I was like, yeah, I can't really take it right now. And I went to those people that explanation, this employee said, you know what? You don't have to say all that. You can just say no. I said, I can just say no. Right? Anyway, so how do I develop better relationships? Number one, aspire to better communication. Become a better communicator. People who have 80% of their communication internal and 20% externally are going to struggle their way through life financially. Why? Because all of the money that you desire to have, that you don't have yet, it's in somebody else's pocket, somebody else's bank account. And if you don't say something to them that lets them know that you've solved their problem, they ain't handing it over. You have to become a better communicator. How do you become a better communicator? And it's really fascinating because I am an introvert who operates as an extrovert. What does that mean? I'm naturally introverted. Like, it's hard for y'all to believe this. If you're watching on YouTube, how is this guy an introvert? If you meet me here, if you went somewhere with me where it's not my space, and you saw me there, you'd probably feel sorry for me. Who's that poor guy over there sitting against the wall? Like, I'm not even, I don't need to be noticed. If I go to a conference, like people love the front row, I hate the front row. I want to sit in the back. I want to sit in the back or corner. I don't want to pay attention. I don't want like, hey, old Larry over here. I don't want to do all that. I just want to come and learn this thing that I came for. Like, my friend Ben Tankard, he invited me to come speak at his church. And Ben and Jewel Tankard at their church in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And then they had a Christmas party in December. They had a Christmas party at their house. It was like a party. And they had all these pastors there, and everybody's having a good time. They're singing and they're dancing and they're just having a good time. I'm sitting on the couch. I don't know what to do. I like to have fun, but I don't know how to do this stuff. Okay, so I'm an introvert who operates as an extrovert. So I'm an introvert who operates as an extrovert. So if I operate as an introvert, nobody's going to know that I can help. And so here's what you have to do. You want to learn how to become a better communicator? You want to aspire to better communication? Read more books. If you don't have an audience of people who believe that you have their solution, it might be because you don't know enough. You know what's fascinating to me? It's fascinating to me that I will spend decades of my life learning a discipline. I will spend hours of my life studying a particular aspect of that discipline. I will hire and pay people so that I can produce a YouTube video to talk about that solution I discovered in that discipline. And somebody who's been on YouTube for 15 years and has 0 videos on their channel and 13 subscribers. They want to post a commentlopedia which is a comment that's as long as an encyclopedia about why I'm wrong. Now, I don't mind that you disagree with me. But the difference is, you believe what you say you believe enough to provide a whole bunch of people who don't care about your opinion with a commentlopedia. I care enough about the stuff I believe to go through all of the work that I had to go through to get to the place in my life where I can actually have a relatively intelligible conversation about it so that it helps somebody other than me. Read more. Now, I'm gonna make a couple of assertions. I know a lot about a lot of things. Like, I'm not bragging, that's a statement of fact. I know a lot about a lot of things. I know a lot about a lot of seemingly unrelated things. Why? Because all principles are microcosms of each other. I know why planes fly. I understand to a moderately high level music theory, even though I can't read music notation, but I can play musical instruments. I understand technology enough to accomplish anything in technology that I need accomplished with or without help. I understand business at an extremely crazy high level, to the point where I can make millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars per year working part-time. I understand, like, at least some living level biblical principles enough to apply them and share them with others in a way that matters. I can fly an airplane. I'm a black belt in martial arts. I know a lot about a lot of seemingly unrelated things. Okay, now why did I tell you all that? Because as much as I know, the thing that I know most, and I'm so hyper aware of, is I don't know enough. Which means there's not a day of my life that goes by where I'm not learning something that I didn't know the day before. Not a day. Why? Because the more I know, the bigger my knowledge base is to pull from when I run into a big group of people with a big problem and deep pockets, and now I can better serve it. By the way, when I run into a big pool of people with a big problem and they have no pockets, I can serve them. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so I don't let a day of my life go by. I haven't you read enough business books? Well, I've read a lot of business books, but I haven't read enough. Haven't you read a lot of music books? I've read a lot of music books, but I haven't read enough. There is no enough. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. Your problem is the more you learn, the more you think you know. Wrong answer, but we do have some nice consolation prizes for you in the back. Read more books. Become obsessed with learning. If that reading is physical books, if that reading is audio books, if it's some version of both, electronic books, read more books. It'll make you a better communicator. Why? Because people who write books have to be clear in order for people to read the books and get something out of it. So what happens is, as you read books, it trains your brain to think in the same frameworks as the people who wrote the book. So my good friend Kenny Grant, I talk about him a lot, because he's my favorite communicator. I love having conversations. I could literally just call Kenny and just talk to him, because he's going to say something that's going to wake up something in me that's like, and so when I first got to know him, I lived in Brunswick, Georgia. I was pastoring a church there, a church that he had started, and now he's pastoring in Savannah. And I was like, Kenny, how do you do that thing you do when you're creating sermons, and it's just like, man, it just flows. You're up there teaching, and it looks like you're just a happy dude eating a good sandwich. And he said, his answer I really thought was avoidant. I thought, he doesn't want to tell me. But this is what he said. He said, oh, Myron, I don't know. All the people I read after, they mind run that way, and so when I read their books, it makes my mind run that way. I couldn't comprehend that sentence. I said, he doesn't want to tell me. This is what I thought to myself. He doesn't want to tell me. That sounds crazy. Like, and he's not that kind of person. Like, why would he not want to tell me? I'm just asking, like, bro, I get it. You're really, really good at this. But I want to be really, really good. Can you just give me a little bit? The people I read at. Okay, so, okay, who are the people you read at? And so he named Adrian Rogers, he named John Phillips. And so I go and buy books by these guys, and I start reading them, and I see one of the things that I noticed in the books was that they all used alliteration in their outlines, which means all of their points in their outline began with the same letter, the same prefix, or ended with the same suffix. I'm like, that's interesting. So then, I'm in New York, I'm in Brooklyn, and I'm speaking at this church, and the pastor had me come in every year, and his name is Vinny Sawyer. Vinny was one of the best, like, 2 Bible teachers I knew in the world. Like, just had biblical insight on biblical, like, he could write a study Bible and it would be amazing. Like, the kind of guy you get around and you start teaching the Bible and you're like, have I ever even seen a Bible? Right? He's that guy, right? And so, I'm like, Vinny, I was talking to my friend Kenny, he's like the best communicator I know, and he recommended these books to me. And so I gave Vinny one of the books. I said, what do you think? He said, yeah, it's all right. I think to myself. I started glitching, right? I'm like, and Vinny has no ego. He's not an egomaniac. He's like the most humble dude you'd ever meet in your life. And I'm like, Kenny's one of the best speakers I've ever heard. The best. Vinny's one of the best Bible teachers ever. I'm telling Vinny about showing Vinny some resources I got from Kenny, and Vinny saying, hey, it's all right. Now I am confused. I am bewildered. Bumfungle. I'm lost. But, like, if I don't understand something, what am I going to do? I'm going to ask a question. Why do you say that? I mean, I knew he had a reason. I would have never conjured up a reason. He said, this changed my life, by the way. He said, I don't like one-word outlines. The man, the message, the mission. He said, sorry. He said, I believe that every point in an outline should be a complete thought. I said, what do you mean? And he told me. My brain melted. And I had just learned from reading books and having conversations with other people who read books how to become a better communicator. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example of an outline that I created based on this formula I got from Kenny, Vinny, and these books that Kenny recommended that Vinny didn't particularly like. That was a long sentence. So, in Philippians chapter 2, it says, let this mind be in you which was also in Christ Jesus, who being in form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, took upon him the form of a servant, was made in the likeness of men, being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Wherefore, God also hath highly exalted him, and given him a name which is above every name, that at the name of Jesus every knee should bow, and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God. So I'm going to teach this passage, but I don't want to write a sermon. I want to just say what's there, but I want to say it in a way that puts a handle on it so it's easy for people to take it around, right? So,
is that short
so it says, wherefore
like
God has given him a name. So whenever there's a wherefore, it's always referring to what came before. If you find wherefore, therefore, it's referring to what came before. So he's saying,
unless you want me to push it back there, I can't.
So the title of the message that I wrote or outlined based on this formula was, why a name above every name. So this is the reason why Jesus had a name above every name. So notice the outline. Number one, because he had a position above every position. And that he coexisted in eternity with God as God. Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus, who, being in the form of God, position above every position. He coexisted in eternity with God as God. Okay, so he had a position above every position. He coexisted in eternity with God as God. But then, when he made himself in your reputation, was made in the likeness of men, and being found in fashion as a man. Okay, so not only did he have a position above every position, but he was a person above all people. Why? Because he came to live on earth with man as a man. See how this is like I am alliterating not just the main point, but the explanation of the main point. See how it makes it so much easier to comprehend what I'm saying? Okay? But not only that, but he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. He had a purpose above all purposes. And then he died on the cross with sinners, for sinners, as sin.
You want to go up high?
Now, it's like, I'm not just saying the position, the person, the purpose. In order to develop something fully, it requires that you put effort and energy into it. Here's what I discovered as a communicator who desires to build long-lasting relationships and good relationships with people. The longer I think about how I'm going to say it, and the more work I put into saying it clearly, the less work they have to put into comprehending it or carrying it away with them. Okay? So, he had a purpose above all purposes, and that he died on the cross with sinners, for sinners, as sin. But watch this. He had power above all power. How's that? In that he raised himself from the dead while he was dead. Now, what did I do? All I did was talk about the stuff. So for these reasons, God gave Jesus the name above every name. So you see, I put a handle on it. I did the work in preparation, so they didn't have to do so much work in comprehension. Become a better communicator. How? Read more books. It trains your brain to think in the way of the people whose books you're reading. Okay, cool. That's one. Write more in your journals. Seek to write in your journals to clarify your thoughts. So what I do when I'm writing in my journals is I like to take notes on the books that I read, but I don't write down what the person said. I write down what I thought of as a result of what they said so that I can know why it affected me. So when I talk to you, I'm not just quoting some person, but I'm telling you about an experience I had that impacted me. Okay, cool. Read more books, write more in your journals, and then ask more questions. But if you're going to ask questions, WFAA, wait for an answer. And better yet, LFAA, listen for an answer. Most people, when you ask a question and they're answering you, you're thinking about the next thing you want to say. Stop.
Okay, the last thing
you
we're
want
going
to
to
do
is a nose play.
Listen better.
This is killing
Okay,
me.
cool. So,
You like you said,
how do we have better relationships? We can become better communicators. Isn't that fascinating?
And I would definitely still do fiber, but if you do, but you're still, that's still pushing it back, because it's too, it's light right there, and it should be still a little darker, but you can tell it just went back a little bit.
And the word was with
But you
God.
want me to
And the
make
word was
that a
God.
little lighter?
And the same was in the beginning with God, and all things were made by him, and without him was not anything
That's
made
yours, you
that
know.
was made. God started everything with communication. And God
You
said,
ready for the
let
nose
there be
wax?
light. We're made in the image of God. Maybe, just a guess. Just a guess. Maybe it would be a good idea for us to start researching. Hashtag just saying. Okay, so aspire to better acquire better connections. Other people's problems are your greatest opportunity.
He addicted to it, don't listen to me.
You know the best way to connect with somebody?
My client's are.
When you see that they have a problem that they didn't tell you, and you show up with a tiny and elegance. Oh snap! How did we know? How did she
Is
know?
that short enough? Do you like to do a whole circle right there? Or do you like that
It's
connection?
really interesting
Like
that all of the riches that you're looking for are in problems that other people have. What do you think about that? We talk about relationship riches. But see, you have to learn how to obsess over their problem more than you obsess over their payment. You have to learn how to obsess over their transformation more than you obsess over their transaction. And so, how do you develop better connections? Number one, where you seek to solve other people's problems. Obsess and solve their problems. You know, number one reason most people are broke. Number one reason most broke people are broke.
When they start hitting that mustache at the same time.
Only person's problems they even know this for nothing.
We be like, okay, let me try to figure out,
That sounds like that. You seem like
one of the reasons it's not good for men to be alone is because it gives you way too much time to be thinking about you.
Yes you are. Big boy, good job. All right, and we're done. How was that?
And then when you come up with a solution, you serve that solution.
Great. Okay. You flip. You deserve that thing. I'm gonna let you get all your put back into the world. And we'll put these out.
I know he's not going back here. Because the room is not doing
Well, until you get the Donnie's in the back in the room, you gotta go outside and do that. And then for
My doctor came in. She just got done with the rose treatment. I got the pen and map where we from. That's a map. Close. We had a world map up there, but we messed up our wall, so we gotta get another one. Because people come from London, Italy, Africa. They come from all over the world. Come to the Barber thing. And they'll pin the map. So this is our map of the U.S. But that's Hawaii, Puerto Rico. They be coming. Book in advance. Book in advance. So the client is done, and just gathering his things. Then it'll come up, get paid, and they'll pin them out. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
thank you so much for letting us serve him. We appreciate you.
How we give you a tip?
Oh, we can hire you. Thank you so much for letting us serve you. Thank you so much. Yes, yes.
Is that a great idea?
What?
Absolutely.
Really?
My dad is coming. I'm going to you too.
Please. We gonna have you pin the map. Tell us where you from. Here, let me grab. Let's get a bowl.
What's your name? Where you from?
I'm rich. I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. From the north side, by the way. The experience was wonderful. It's hard for me to relax at first because, you know, me and we just don't. But we ain't had no choice. The way they were rubbing and pushing it out of you, it felt wonderful. Never had anything like that. This is the first time I experienced anything like that. And it was wonderful. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back.
We appreciate it.
She said, y'all got this one.
Yeah, that is really my assignment.
Yeah.
Is that right there? What you just said is a girl touched my eye.
I bet they don't start from that.
That's what it is.
Aw.
God said that y'all can come in with so much on you and just relax them and push it out of you.
Appreciate it.
Please.
You did that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You did that.
Thank you so much for your service with your kids. Thank y'all so much.
She gonna start crying with you.
Right, that's why I'm about to go after that because I'm not crying.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Please
Take
don't.
that shit aside.
That's a sign. It's not even, that's the reason why I wish so. I don't talk. He told me, when he gave me the assignment 5 years ago, he said, Tasha, I'm assistant king leader, and I'm asking you to do something that I've never asked a barber to do, and it's be quiet and just serve them. Be quiet and just serve them because they don't know the importance of being served, especially in the public eye, in the public sector. So when they come in, just relax them and let me talk to my son. It's something that I need to tell them. And even if it is letting go. Because you can't control nothing. You can't control the wind, the rain. He's in control and he needs you to know that he got you. So if they learn how to relax physically in a physical hand, then they can do spiritual in mind. So I need them to relax. That's the real assignment, is them relaxing. Not for me, not for you, for them and him and God. That connection needs to relax him because he got a big assignment for you. But he can't get your attention because you like, I gotta carry everything. And he's like, no, I got you. Like my yoke is easy. I didn't tell you to carry that. You carry it in God's way. And you know the word. I could tell, I felt it all over you. I felt it all over you. I kept on praying over you and everything.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I felt it. So I appreciate you. You understand what I was saying earlier, while I was like, it's gonna be real quiet. And a lot of men, they get kind of, because in the barber shop, it's not like that. It's the opposite. And
Shoot to win.
yeah, and I used to have to, I fought it. I was like, no, Lord. So for you to say what you said, and the review was just like, that was Holy Spirit.
I appreciate that. I'm always optimistic about letting people touch me or my family.
Absolutely.
So when we came, I'm looking around, because it's a lot of undercover witches. It's a lot of undercover Satan worshipers.
Yes.
And they're masking like, oh, we Christian, we accept everybody, but the spirit gonna tell you what's going on. So when I came here, it was peaceful. He laughing with the camera.
Yeah.
He like, got you. And I'm like, no.
And that's my husband, that's my daughter, it's a whole big giant family. And not only do we start, because I know what you're talking about with that witchcraft, that's why we don't start here, we start at home. So we clean our home, to clean before we get here. So we connect before I can even connect with anybody. And we connect. Absolutely. So that's my husband, that's my daughter.
Appreciate you, bro. Y'all got something blessed going on here.
Thank you so much again. Thank you.
You said that was your daughter on the hand?
Yeah,
she-
Devani. Thank you.
She was tearing my toe up. I was like, God.
Yeah, she plays no game.
Yeah, she was like, just relax. Man, I was like, all right, yeah, you got it, good. But that was, yeah, we'll be back.
Thank you. And bring your dad,
I'm
please.
gonna bring him, because
Please.
he's worse than me.
I know.
You know how the older guys,
The older one's even worse.
they don't play none of that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
This for girls. I don't need all that.
Right.
Yeah.
So do y'all have anything like that for women?
Actually, we're doing that. We're doing that. We actually just consultate with us. We just started. We just started for y'all. Not only did we start for y'all, we even started for the last 5 years. It was my assignment with the Barbers, and then this year was couples.
Okay.
Let's make couple stronger things. But I have a cousin back there that's only completely doing the whole experience around women, natural hair, everything. So you kind of see a little bit of her content on our page. But yeah, we do a whole thing around women now.
Because that's another thing that'll make a man not relax. Knowing that I'm relaxing and she not.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
yeah. I wish she
so I really couldn't relax knowing she was right there. And I knew that was her touching me at one point because
Yeah.
I know her touch. I
Oh,
was like, yeah. I knew her. I'm like, nah, that's baby touch.
yeah. See, you see how I threw that in there?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I peeped.
Okay.
But
Okay.
so I could bring her back.
We definitely gotta, we're coming up, and I'm letting God really lead this. It's called a date night where it's gonna be Barber Experience after hours, where y'all get to come in, and then we gonna have y'all in all of our rooms are private rooms, and I'm gonna teach you how to do a facial on her, and her how to do a facial on you. That's that's kind of making a team building exercise. Yes, and then just so you can get this experience, deep condition, blow dry your hair out, trim your ends, get your braids up, get your natural hair. We do all of that, yeah. Yep.
So you saying we need to wait, like just get in touch with y'all?
I'm just like waiting on God to say, I'm really waiting on some clients to say, Tasha, do it, and then I'm gonna be like, come in. Cause it's so easy for me to do it.
Okay, well,
It's just like,
do it.
yeah, like Valentine's Day, her anniversary, be like, Tasha, can you come up with something?
Yeah, see, that's
I got you.
Our anniversary next month.
And you say Tasha.
So I do that.
If y'all came and said, Tasha, we need to come up with
You
something.
done met your man over here.
Yeah.
You gonna be like, y'all had that thing about some pushing.
And that's what I need. Cause I can make it, I'll make it shake.
Okay.
I'll make it shake real fast.
Okay.
All I need is some couples to say, hey, we trust you, make this shake. I got you.
Oh yeah, we know a lot of people.
Yeah.
We don't bring a lot of people to
Please, and then your video is coming out too, so please share it. Cause it be like, it's hard to explain it, but then you be like, let me show you this video.
Okay, for sure.
Let me show you this video.
Most definitely.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all didn't know y'all was coming to church today.
Right. Hey, we are in church, right?
You hear me?
Right.
Thank y'all so
All right,
much.
thank y'all.
Y'all have a blessing.
You too.